Hi, News 3 friends, and all of our viewers all over the world. Oh my goodness, there we go. Hi, happy Monday. Will one of you please comment here and let me know that you can actually hear me, because I'm wearing these fancy little Apple earbuds, whatever you call them, and I'm not sure if they actually do the job of picking up my audio. So let me know if you can hear me in a comment. Somebody give me a thumbs up or something. Yes, you can hear me. Hi, Robin. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. We had a good weekend here at my house. A lot of us have colds here at home, but we stayed focused. We enjoyed time. Thanks, Kathy. I'm glad you can hear me. And it was just really nice. I'm counting down to the day where I will go to South Korea for the 2018 Olympic Games. What a wonderful honor it is that KSNB and Sinclair Broadcasting are sending me there. And if you're from out of town, you likely will see me on one of your television sets, because I will be providing content. Hi, Dave. I'll be providing content for all stations that are owned by Sinclair around the country. So hopefully you'll be able to see me, and it's going to be a lot of fun. However, as that February date approaches where I'll be getting on a plane for almost a month, my heart just sort of palpitates, and I just think, I'm going to leave these beautiful kids and my spouse behind and our house. And so all of you, if you can just join me in a collective sort of, if you pray, send a prayer. If you light a candle, just do something that my kids will be safe, my family will be safe, everything will be fine, and that we'll have a great time in South Korea, and that the time will be effective and meaningful and impactful, but will pass quickly so I can hold my kids. So a lot of you that know me know that I'm very much into yoga and meditation, and I came to yoga and meditation through my own I guess atrophy of my own soul, and what happened to my soul after several years of grief and trauma after the loss of my son. I won't go into all of that. You can go to YouTube and Google Reed Cowan TED Talk, or you can go to my website reedcowan.com and click on Reed Cowan TV, and you will be able to watch that and sort of see the background of what happened. But after so many years of just trauma and pain and not being able to sleep and all of the things that go along with a great tragedy and a loss, I found myself frozen, just completely frozen. Sort of like that Madonna song, Frozen. Not like the Elsa song on Frozen, but just sort of like stagnant and hard and cold in my heart and suffering, really. And I took a meditation class, and the teacher put me in what's called frog pose, where you put your your forearms down on the ground, your forehead's on the ground, and then your knees actually spread, and you go into this really painful position. And the technology and the science behind that is that it breaks open things that are blocked in your life. And boy, did it. Within just a couple of minutes of frog pose, it hurt my body. I took a few breaths into that pain, and all of a sudden, for the first time in years, I cried honest tears. I cried myself clean, and I realized that there was something to this yoga, there was something to this technology, this ancient practice. There was something to it, and I realized that it's for everybody. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care if you have no religion. I don't care if you necessarily believe the spiritual tenets of yoga. But I found that there is something to it, and I became a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher. I was able to study in Sedona with Sarah McLean, who has a history of being Deepak Chopra's educational director, has since become a good friend. If you scroll way down in these videos, you'll see Facebook Live around the holidays with Sarah talking about meditation. And I got certified to become a yoga teacher, and I continue to practice. Robin saying, more like frog, no, ouch, but glad it worked. Yeah, right. It does, it works. And there's something about yoking the mind, the body, and your energetic space, or your spirit. And when those three things work together and you just sort of get out of the way, your body does and your soul does what it is programmed to do. Do you have a hurt in your life? Do you have knots that need to be untangled? The practice of yoga and the 8 limbs of yoga, which I want to talk about here today, as you start your new year, can literally get you out of the way of your own healing, and will really help you to access what your body, what the Creator did to program your body and your mind and your spirit to heal. All right? So today I want to cover the 8 limbs of yoga and tell you what it is if you don't know what it is, and it involves meditation. And I want to, first of all, in full disclosure, let you know that my first spiritual language was Christianity. I was raised in Utah, and so I was raised in a very religious family. We went to church every Sunday. I have a lot of friends who are born-again Christians, a lot of friends who are Mormon, a lot of friends who are Jewish, a lot of friends who are Catholic. Some of those really sort of stalwart religions that are very traditional. And I want to let you know, if you fall in any of those categories, yoga, you can still practice yoga. Yoga does not mean that you have to forsake any of your own religious practice, your own religious belief. Yoga is a technology that's ancient, that allows room and space for your Catholicism, for your Christianity, for your Mormonism, for whatever. It really does, for your Judaism. If you're a Muslim, you can still practice yoga. And so I wanted to let you know, first of all, that I came from that background, and my first spiritual language, so to speak, was that background. And I have found that that yoga and the practice of yoga and understanding the 8 limbs of yoga, called Ashtanga, have not gotten in the way of any of the training and upbringing that I had at all. So I wanted just to tell you about them. Here are the 8 limbs of yoga. They're ancient, and I want to tell you about each and every one of them. First of all, there are the yamas and the niyamas. So the yamas are your restraints, and the niyamas are the observances, okay? So first of all, the yamas, the restraints or the disciplines in yoga. There is ahimsa, which is the science of kindness and nonviolent resistance. So the science of kindness. So yogis truly believe that there is a technology and a science that results in an outcome if you participate in the energy of kindness and nonviolent resistance to anything. So when you come up on anything in your life that causes you to feel that spark of aggression, the first limb of yoga, the first yama, is ahimsa, and it reminds you to stay rooted in kindness and nonviolent resistance. Nonviolence with your mouth, nonviolence with your body, nonviolence with your thoughts. The second yama, satya, honesty or truth in thought, word, and deed. Are you skirting the truth in something in your life? Are you through omission not telling your full truth? Are you telling all out lies in your life? Well, the science of satya in one of the 8 limbs of yoga in that yamas category is tell the truth. Be honest in everything you do, in your mind, with your words, with your body. Be honest. The third yama, asteya, not stealing or taking from your neighbor. Pretty simple stuff, right? And you might think, well, that means you just don't go steal your friend's Amazon package off their front door. And certainly that is the case. But also think about in the world and how you purchase and how you sell. Are you taking from an animal? Are you taking from somebody? Are you stealing something in the way you transact in your life? So asteya reminds us to not steal or take from our neighbors. Brahmacharya, self-restraint, and this regards sexual purity, being pure, where your own expressions of your body are concerned. Aparigraha conquers greed, not hoarding the things that we really don't need. Aparigraha. So clean out your closets in the new year. If you don't need it, give it away. If it's sitting in your closet and you haven't used it for weeks and weeks and weeks and you're likely not to use it, give it away. Don't hoard the things you don't need. And then really, to practice the 5 disciplines or restraints, don't buy it again if you're not going to use it regularly. You really don't need it. All right, so there's then the niyamas, which are the code of ethics or observances. Saucha is purity, keeping your mind and your body clean. Now, how this applies to me is I try not to watch reality TV. Like, really. And I occasionally get sucked in. Okay, I'm going to tell the truth. You can go to Huffington Post and put my name in and Google why I'll never watch reality TV again. And I wrote that right after the shootings at Sandy Hook. And for me, keeping my mind and body clean, first of all, my mind clean, I find that reality TV thrives on conflict and people fighting with each other. That is their bread and butter. If they don't have 2 women pulling their hair out on reality TV, then people don't watch. And so I don't watch, and that helps me to keep my mind clean. I try to watch what goes into my brain, and I try to edit what I allow in my mind. Same thing with my body. This is a huge struggle. Those of you who know me know that I love my food, I love my bad food, and I struggle with weight. And so I'm working on keeping my body clean, which is the physical side of saucha, which is one of the niyamas, code of ethics or observances. Santosha, See, and you thought yoga was just like bending your toes, right? You just thought yoga was like downward dog, upward dog, and all of that. We'll get to that. Santosha, contentment, appreciate what you have and the perfection of what you have. So I'm sitting in a house that for weeks and weeks and weeks, I've thought, I want to sell it. I want to go to a different house. I want more windows. I want more space in the yard. And I think, wait a minute, practice Santosha. Be glad for what you have. Be thankful for what you have. I saw so many people, myself included, standing in line for the Powerball and the Mega Millions. And I thought, how well am I practicing Santosha, which is just being grateful for what I have and not wishing to win millions and millions of dollars, which would, by the way, be very nice. But think about that. Tapas burns away the dross, so inner heat. Tapas is inner heat, and that occurs naturally when you practice yoga. So tapas is something that is when you get into yoga and you close your mouth and you keep that inner heat in and you breathe through your nose and a narrowed throat, that's tapas. And you can literally, through that practice, envision in your mind's eye a work or a family situation, and really as you heat up in the practice of yoga or the asana practice, you can burn it off. You can burn off all the things that are just crap in your life, and it will literally go away through your inner fire or your tapas. Svadhyaya, self-observation, study of the self, scripture, chanting, contemplation, journal keeping. So svadhyaya is another big part of the 8 limbs of yoga in the niyamas or the code of ethics. So do you keep a journal? If not, maybe do so in the new year. Study yourself. Do you study the ancient scriptures? I don't care if it's the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita. I don't care what it is. Study the works of ancient writers. And that helps you to contemplate yourself and practice svadhyaya. Isvari pranadhana, and I never say that correctly, Isvari pranadhana, or surrendering to a higher power. Those of you in the new year who say, I want to give up a substance, be it alcohol. I had one person who was so brave here yesterday in the comments say, I'm going to conquer my Xanax addiction. I'm going to say that it's a problem and I'm going to conquer it. Something that's very key in AA and getting rid of your addiction is surrendering to a higher power, however you define a higher power. And in the 8 limbs of yoga, in that niyama category, code of ethics or observances, surrendering to a higher power. What do you define as the creator? What do you define as the great intelligence that caused cells to divide and make room for you on this planet? And so that is Isvari pranadhana, surrendering to a higher power. Okay, now we're going to get to the part that you all think is yoga. So yamas, niyamas, disciplines, restraints, code of ethics, and observances. All right, so that's where we are. Next is asana practice, and that is when you go to the gym or whatever, that is the yoga position, the yoga postures, the downward facing dog, the cat and cow, the upward facing dog, cobra, what else? All of those things. But a lot of people think that it does mean bending down, touching your toes. They think it's just about the exercise, but it's not. Yoga means to yoke your mind, your body, and your energetic space or your spirit. And when I am able to do that, like I said at the top of this, I'm able to get out of the way of my own healing, and I'm able to do what my body, my mind, and my spirit are automatically programmed to do. That is to heal, that is to restore, that is to rejuvenate, that is to forgive, that is to forget, that is to find help, that is to move on, that is to tap into my own inner power and my own inner purpose. So you think it's just about achieving these perfect alignments in your asanas or your postures in yoga. It's not. It's truly about connecting your mind, your body, and your energetic space or your spirit through the movements and having that magic happen. And it's not really, well, it is magic. It is magic to me. It's when you are programmed to do what you're programmed to do, and that happens. Now, part of yoga and the next limb of yoga is pranayama. Pranayama is the breath practice, and it's something that's so helpful for me as a parent. A lot of times my kids get so angry, and I make them sit with me and breathe. Navel out from spine. Breathe in, navel out from spine. Now push that air out in all your anger. Navel into spine. I know it seems crazy, but it works. Pranayama is the energy of breath. It's not just breath, it's the energy that comes with your breath. And you can try it. A peace finder principle that Sarah McLean often teaches us is just closing your eyes at your work when somebody makes you mad or frustrates you, and just taking a deep breath in. Just taking a deep breath in. is the pranayama practice. It's ancient technology. You think that it's just something that you've heard over and over, but it actually is rooted in technology that goes back thousands of years. Pranayama, breath, deep, cleansing breaths. And hey, if you're in real trauma, you can actually pant and assign your breath to get rid of it all. Just get rid of it. The things that hurt, the things that make you stressed. Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. Okay, so this can mean many things, but I'm going to tell you how I tried hard for most of the day Sunday to practice pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. I cut off the internet, I cut off social media, and I cut off checking email. I withdrew my senses from just those things. It's withdrawal of the senses, however you want to apply it, but that's how I did. And I think the first time I was on social media is yesterday when my son and I were driving in the car and we pulled over and we shared with you the lyrics to a song. So I did kind of break my own pratyahara practice goal for Sundays, but withdrawal of the senses, whatever that means for you. Raised Mormon in Utah, on Sundays we were not allowed television, we were not allowed newspapers, we were not allowed music. It had to be quiet in our home. As a child, I thought that was absolutely crazy and horrible. But I can see that the faith tradition of my birth was really pushing for the practice of pratyahara, what the Hindus, what the yogis call pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. Dhyana, state of meditation. Dharana, I skipped one, intense focus. So this is where you start to get into the more meditative experience of the 8 limbs of yoga. Dharana is finding one thing to focus on and letting everything else fall away. So you close your eyes. Here, try it. Come on, try it. Close your eyes. And just begin to focus on the sounds of the room. That's all. That's all you have to focus on. One thing. Dharana. Focus on the sounds of the room. Whatever the sounds are. Sound is never a barrier to meditation. Especially if you let go of that human need to judge a sound or assign a story or a meaning or an irritation to a sound. Just focus on the sounds of the room that you're in. And open your eyes. You just practice dharana. That's it. It can be one single focus of your breath, in and out, in and out, in and out. It can be keeping your eyes open, gazing at one thing like a candle flickering. Your ears are ringing dawn. I have that too. Tinnitus. So focus on that. Don't assign a story or a meaning or an irritation to that ringing. Just do that. The next thing, jhana, state of meditation. So these things lead you to the practice of being able to just float in your mind and have peace. And samadhi, the 8th limb of yoga, is the state of oneness, where you feel like you're one with your mind, your body, your spirit. You feel like you're one with all the leaves that blow on the trees. You feel like you're one with the birds that sing. You feel like you're one with the people you're divided from. The people who don't share your politics, you're one with, because they're connected. They're humans. They breathe in, they breathe out. They have the need for love. You feel like you're one, right? And so that's what it leads. And that's what the 8 limbs of yoga are. And that's why I do it, okay? So maybe try it. Share this. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any resistance to it. If you just feel like it doesn't work, and we can talk about it throughout the day. I'll come back and chat about it. But those are the 8 limbs of yoga. That's why they help me. Robin wants to know about the earbuds. I can't see the rest of your thing. I love them. So they're the Apple earbud. They're wireless. They're Bluetooth. I feel like I'm a Jetson. They're freaky and weird because I keep going to grab wires, and there's no wires. So I love them. I will say the battery power doesn't last as long as I'd like it to last. Another thing I'll tell you, if you want to really hear a song or rap, do some poses. Okay, I will. I'll do a seated sunite. So this is, you breathe in when you expand. Palms up. Hands at heart center. Palms up. Grab your right wrist like this and lean over. In, out. In, out. That's it. That's the beginning of a sun A. Anyway, if you want a song that sort of runs through what the 8 limbs are in a way that kind of is fun, it's a rap artist named MC Yogi, 8 limbs. So go to YouTube, MC Yogi, space 8 limbs. And Colleen, you're welcome. It's knowledge that I keep studying. It's something I study all the time. But I just want everybody to know, because I know that there are people out there who are watching who have a very solid, strong foundation of a faith tradition, and they think or may have been told, well, yoga is not for me, it's for Hindus, or it's for these hippy-dippy people who don't believe in the way I believe. And I promise it's not. It does not get in the way of your first language, your mother tongue, your spiritual mother tongue. It doesn't get in the way of it. In fact, having gone through the 8 limbs of yoga, I can tell you that's all there is to it. And it actually complements every faith tradition I've ever seen. And if you happen to be an atheist, know that I do not consider you kind of an outcast. I actually swam in the atheist pool for a while. After losing my son, I thought there is no creator, there is no God. And people, I remember people scolding me for being an atheist. And I just want you to know you're fine just where you are. And all of the 8 limbs of yoga can actually be very holistic and healthy for you to enjoy your life now. A lot of atheists I know really say, well, why am I worried about the next life when I have a life I'm living now? And that's actually a beautiful practice we can all learn from. So the 8 limbs of yoga can absolutely make your life now, here in the moment, a very amazing experience. Mary says, I'm Christian and yoga is great. Meditation. Yeah, you can find meditation mentioned in every ancient scripture out there, regardless of the spiritual tradition. You can find it. It's there. I'll close now, but I just want you to know that you all have a great spark inside of you. You all have a great potential and a great purpose to realize on this planet. You do. You do. I don't care if as you watch this, you look around and you see a house that tells you otherwise. You see a mess from the morning that tells you otherwise. I don't care if you look at your bank account and the number in your bank account and it tells you otherwise. All of those things are not the ultimate truth. And the ultimate truth is you have the spark of greatness in you. And there's Andrew, hi. You have the spark of greatness in you, and you can access that, harness it, use it, and let it just burn its way through you and lead you to your potential by practicing the 8 limbs of yoga. Okay? Have a happy day. Share this, comment, sound off, and if anybody hasn't told you this today yet, or if you've never been told this, hear it and know this. I love you. I do, okay? You're loved. Now go practice your yoga. MC Yogi, 8 limbs. Let your body do that yoga.